In the world of film and animation, few names carry as much weight as Satoshi Kon. Though his career was tragically cut short, Kon left an indelible mark on the industry, crafting works that continue to inspire and captivate audiences and creators alike. His unique ability to blur the lines between reality and fantasy, coupled with his deep exploration of psychological themes, has made his films a touchstone for innovation and creativity. From Hollywood heavyweights like Darren Aronofsky and Christopher Nolan to countless anime directors, Kon's influence is everywhere. You may not have heard his name as often as Spielberg or Miyazaki, but his fingerprints are all over modern cinema. Take, for example, the similarities between Perfect Blue and Black Swan, or Paprika and Inception. These are not mere coincidences, but a testament to Kon's visionary storytelling and groundbreaking techniques. Despite this, Kon remains an underrated genius, his works often overlooked in the mainstream conversation, and he deserves a brighter spotlight. But before we get there, let's take a look at Satoshi Kon's career and films for those meeting him for the first time. Satoshi Kon began his career as a manga artist. His work is characterized by a distinctive style that sets him apart from other filmmakers and animators. In his films, the lines between what is real and what is imagined are often blurred, creating a dreamlike quality that immerses us in the psychological depths of his characters. In his works, Kon visualizes concepts such as dreams, memories, nightmares, obsessions, art, and life, and their interrelations, presenting them to the audience with a surreal narrative. To put it this way, if Dali had wanted to adapt his paintings into films, I believe he wouldn't have entrusted the direction to anyone but Kon. One of the areas where Kon excels the most is engaging the audience while conveying abstract concepts through scene transitions, using techniques like match cut, frequently seen in Wes Anderson's filmography, taking the audience on a journey between various worlds. One method Kon employs before transferring his scenes to the silver screen is keeping the next scene constantly in mind while drawing one scene. This way, despite the abstract narrative and shooting techniques he uses, he prevents a break in continuity between scenes, maintaining cohesion. Additionally, he tries to minimize the number of frames while drawing, allowing the audience to read the scenes more quickly. His films are exceptionally successful, to the point of being instructive, especially in terms of scene composition and storytelling. One of his true area of expertise is writing. Satoshi Kon always wrote his characters with an incredible amount of humanity dwelling within them, whether it was through the dramatic events people would be forced through, or the simple fact that Kon wasn't afraid to make even his heroes flawed. As amazingly abstract as Kon's animation was, it would have been lifeless without his talent as a writer. When you add aesthetic concerns to this, the result is a visually satisfying work. Satoshi Kon's first movie, Perfect Blue, is perhaps his most famous work and a groundbreaking film. Kon adapted his first feature film from the novel of the same name by illustrator Yoshikazu Takeuchi. With his very first directorial effort, Kon made a significant impact, delivering a powerful blow to the Japanese film and television industry in which he had long been involved. We witness Mima, who transitions from a pop idol to an actress, to be crushed under the burden of the fame and the hypocrisy of society. He presents disturbing scenes of reality, adorned with mind-bending illusions. Kon, who achieves this with unique and breathtaking scene transitions, leaves his viewers with a film that excites, intrigues, and confuses them as they try to keep up. When he decided to make a psychological thriller, unlike countless similar examples, he did not use the perpetrator as the suspense element. Instead, he focused on the internal destruction an obsessive stalker can cause on the victim. The film, which was screened at international festivals and won awards, brought the director worldwide recognition. Millennium Actress. In Satoshi Kon's second directorial attempt, our protagonist Chiyoko chases love from film to film. The audience tries to understand how it is possible to go from Space Shuttle Command to samurai, wielding his katana in a single scene. Kon combines breathtaking scene transitions with exceptionally fluid editing. presenting us with a main character, Setsuko Hara, who ended her career after appearing in dozens of films. Like his first film, Kon aims blur the line between reality and illusion with his style. The film carries influences from famous Japanese productions and offers an enjoyable viewing experience with the scores composed by Susumu Hirasawa. While Kon's first film focused on the dark sides of human nature, this film adopts a positive perspective. Kon wants us to understand his beloved protagonist, who chases, runs, falls, and experiences this cycle repeatedly. According to Kon, human development is shaped between the constantly repeating cycle of death and rebirth. The production, which received awards from international film festivals, was included in Cinefantastique's 10 Essential Animation Films list in 2004. After painstakingly creating his first two films using traditional anime drawing techniques, Kon opted for digital techniques for his subsequent films. Tokyo Godfathers. In 2004, Kon delighted us with his heartwarming anime Tokyo Godfathers. Three homeless friends, Gin, Mayuki, and Hana, go on a chase adventure with the baby they found by chance while going through the garbage on a snowy Christmas Eve. For the screenplay, Kon received the help of renowned screenwriter Keiko Nobumoto, and he worked with Kenichi Kanishi from Studio Ghibli for animation direction. Unlike his previous two films, which focused on story development, Kon chose to concentrate on the characters' stories this time. The film's themes of meaningful coincidences and family hinting at the family without blood ties concept. He also wanted to draw attention to Tokyo's growing homeless population. He believed that homeless people had not only lost their homes, but also left their families behind.
Weren't for him and his get-rich-quick schemes, I'd still be with my wife and daughter.
You said they were dead. What does he have to do with them?
I'll kill him. I'll kill him.
You're gonna get yourself killed!
Another significant character in the story is the city of Tokyo itself. Kon argued that the city and its streets have a soul, and he reinforced this narrative with buildings and objects resembling human faces. The film received positive reviews from numerous critics worldwide. Paprika. In 2006, Kon released Paprika, a film that is both colorful and dark. While Chiba and his team jumped from dream to dream with Paprika in pursuit of their breakthrough inventions in the field of psychotherapy, the audience no longer had a complete perception of reality. Paprika is a character that reminds me of the Tokyo Godfathers trio with her cheerfulness, Chiyoko with her running around, and Mima and her delusions with her dark relationship with Chiba. Paprika is one of the first films to feature a soundtrack largely created by Vocaloid. It was a project that Kon had envisioned since Perfect Blue, but had been unable to do due to budget constraints. In the famous parade scene, Kon received support from Susumu Hirasawa, inviting us into the magnificent world of dreams with unabashed spectacle. Shown at prestigious film festivals such as the Venice Film Festival, the film garnered numerous awards and accolades, serving as a meaningful farewell to the industry from Kon. Paprika, the last film Kon was able to complete, is an unforgettable masterpiece that has found a place on many prestigious lists, including Time's 25 Best Animated Films, Time Out's 50 Best Animated Films, Rotten Tomatoes' 50 Best Animated Films of All Time, and Metacritic's 25 Best Sci-Fi Films. Satoshi Kon has had a profound influence on other creators, stretching from animation into mainstream cinema. Many know that Darren Aronofsky's Black Swan is heavily inspired by Satoshi Kon's 1997 movie Perfect Blue. Black Swan wasn't released until 2010, and even went on to win the Academy Award for Best Actress, but Perfect Blue was barely even mentioned, let alone credited. Perfect Blue and Black Swan share striking similarities in their narratives. Both films revolve around young female performers grappling with intense career pressures. These pressures trigger hallucinations, where each protagonist sees a haunting doppelganger. Both characters are pushed into roles they struggle to reconcile with reality, leading to tragic outcomes. Aronofsky's homage to Perfect Blue is evident, even down to the protagonists' names, Mima in Perfect Blue and Nina in Black Swan. While Mima is initially a pop star turned actress in Japan, Nina is a prima ballerina in New York. Despite these location and career differences, Black Swan often echoes Perfect Blue in its scenes and shots. The parallels between the two films are so pronounced that it raises questions about Black Swan merely being inspired by Perfect Blue. Many scenes from Perfect Blue appear recreated in Black Swan without explicit credit to Satoshi Kon, the creator of Perfect Blue. But this isn't the first time Aronofsky has pulled a move like this. He did it earlier on in 2000, in Requiem for a Dream. Although it certainly wasn't as drastic as the copying scene in Black Swan, he did steal a shot from Perfect Blue in Requiem for a Dream as well. Christopher Nolan is another filmmaker who has drawn inspiration from Satoshi Kon. Nolan's Inception shares numerous thematic and visual similarities with Paprika, particularly in its depiction of dream worlds and the fluidity between dreams and reality. Nolan doesn't completely copy it, like Black Swan does with Perfect Blue. The underlying plot is the same. Both films explore the idea of shared dreamscapes and the manipulation of perceptions, and there are also a few shots that appear to have been copied. What sets Inception and Paprika apart are the more detailed aspects of each film. The base idea of each film is the same, yes, but the motives behind the characters are completely different. Inception is about a group of dream spies trying to get a code for a dead businessman's vault. Paprika is about a group of detectives trying to retrieve a stolen piece of dream equipment. Satoshi Kon also plays around with the idea of surrealism a lot more than Nolan does in Inception. In contrast, Black Swan closely mirrors Perfect Blue in story, scenes, and themes, raising questions of originality versus imitation. Remaking a story and only changing the title, setting, and names of the characters without giving credit to the original creator is not inspiration. It's stealing. Darren Aronofsky denies Black Swan is a remake of Perfect Blue, attributing its inspiration to Swan Lake and ballet's themes of duality and internal conflict. However, the parallels are striking, leaving doubts about Aronofsky's claims. His acquisition of Perfect Blue rights and subsequent production choices add to suspicions of uncredited influence. I think it gets even stranger when you learn that Aronofsky bought the rights for Perfect Blue in the USA, mostly to include that scene in Requiem for a Dream. But after watching Black Swan, his motives become even more shady. If Aronofsky had credited Satoshi Kon and publicly stated that Black Swan is inspired by a live-action remake of Perfect Blue, then these issues of plagiarism and lies would not matter anywhere near as much. Right now, it appears that he doesn't have much respect for Kon or his work. However, despite Kon's critical success, his works have not achieved the same level of popular recognition as those of his contemporaries, such as Hayao Miyazaki or Mamoru Hosoda. Several factors contribute to this. Firstly, Kon's storytelling style, characterized by its psychological depth and narrative intricacy, contrasts sharply with the more accessible and commercial appeal of other popular anime. For instance, the works of Studio Ghibli, with their enchanting, whimsical qualities, have a broad, cross-generational appeal that has helped them achieve widespread popularity. In contrast, Kon's films require a more engaged and reflective viewing experience, which may not align with the expectations of a mainstream audience looking for light entertainment. Secondly, the marketing and distribution of Kon's films outside of Japan have been relatively limited. While Miyazaki's films have enjoyed widespread international distribution and marketing, helping them reach a broader audience, Kon's films have often been confined to niche markets, film festivals, and specialty screenings. This limited exposure has prevented his works from gaining the same level of global recognition. Additionally, Kon's untimely death in 2010 cut short a career that was still evolving and growing. Had he lived longer, it is likely that he would have continued to produce groundbreaking work, further solidifying his reputation and potentially reaching a wider audience. Despite these challenges, there has been a growing recognition of Kon's genius in recent years. Retrospectives, academic studies, and tributes from other filmmakers have helped to shine a light on his contributions to the art of filmmaking and animation. As more people discover and appreciate his work, Kon's legacy continues to grow, cementing his place as a visionary artist who pushed the boundaries of storytelling and animation.